Yes, now I think it has started. Okay, let
Yes.
me introduce myself. My name is Sunil. I hail from Delhi. Talking about my educational qualification, I'm a graduate. By profession, I have been a trainer. I do train people for their communication skills. I also have a YouTube channel. When it comes to my hobby, I like listening to music. So that's all about me. Yes.
Very brief but emphatic introduction of yours it is. So sure about you.
Mm. I think you have a lot of things to share. And as you said, you have been a topper. You won a lot of competitions. So what is the need to be on YouTube? I think you must be a renowned face in your area.
Because because when we are teaching or when we are in our institute, then our you can say our limits are very limited. We cannot reach to the wider audience. So it was my motive that I belong to a rustic, a remote, or you can say the village area. And I just want to say that it doesn't matter if you belong to a rural area or if you belong to an urban area. If you have passion, if you have desire, you can do anything. So that was my basic aim behind running this YouTube channel.
Yes. And what always motivated you to be the part of those many competitions, to be the best? As you said, I think when you are a topper, that is more than enough. After that, you just look for a job, or but I think you don't have any full stop in your life.
Um, you can say the motivation behind me was always me because there was no one who could motivate me. So
Yes.
it was me. I am a firm believer of this fact that until and unless the motivation derives or motivation comes within your heart, you cannot survive and you cannot get success. You have to motivate yourself each and every day at every passing moment because motivation is the just disloyal friend in this world. You cannot completely rely on it. You have to make yourself remember each and every moment that this is your target, this is your destination, and you have to do your struggle. And in this way, you can continue your journey, whether you are being the topper hood. Because when I just first topped the examination of second year, that was my first topper hood, and I was declared the scholarship holder of my college. That was the first year. You can say that was the first achievement in my cap. And this achievement could be ended, but I just remembered every and each and every single day that I have to do my level best. I have to remain the best every year. So that was the case.
That is fantastic. Yes. And how many languages can you speak?
I can speak three languages. Urdu is my national language, and Punjabi is my, you can say, regional language, and English is also a global language. So I can um, speak three languages at the same time.
Three or four? I think Hindi. You can also speak the Hindi,
Yes,
can't you?
Hindi and amalgamation,
Hmm.
a little bit amalgamation is that, and we can also know about Hindi language.
And what about Arabic? And don't you have
I
any
think
other interest in learning other languages like French, Spanish, German, and Arabic? Yes.
I do not have any interest in learning French and Japanese or German language because I believe that if you know English language, English is widely known in every corner of the world. Even a person who does not know any other language, he can know. Yeah, he just knows the ABC of English language. You can translate yourself. You can just put your message across the person, and the other person can easily understand even with your broken words. Even if you say just a glass, it means you need a glass of water. If you just say hungry, it means you are feeling hungry and you need some food to eat. So English is just like a lingua franca, and in this perspective, I do not desire to have any other language to learn.
Right. And in my book, what I feel is when you learn English and when you are very good at your academic, they both are different things, because language is something that you have to practice every single day. It does not have anything to do with your academic. So if you are good at anything, but when it comes to English, when it comes to speaking part, you always have to start from scratch. What about you? That did
Yes,
you
absolutely.
face difficulties? Hmm.
You have depicted the right picture of our academic, you can say, the system. Because if we are studying Arabic language, Urdu language, Punjabi language, we are just studying the subjects. We are not studying in sense of languages, in sense of the deeper concept of language, how languages are derived and how these are spoken. Because these subjects are only taught to get the higher marks in the subject or in the exam. That is the
Yeah.
perspective of all Asian or all subcontinent countries. So when it comes to speak a language, when it comes to get fluency at the language, we have to practice every single day. You can practice, and we have to practice from the very scratch, from building the words, vocabulary words. For example, if I have a book around me, I have to say book and bag. These are different kind of articles around us. We just have to name all these articles first. We have to remember, we have to learn. If we don't know any word or any noun's name, then we have to search in the Google. And after that, the very important concept is that then we have to go further, upgrade our knowledge. Then if it is a book, then we have to describe the utility, the benefits, the advantages of this book. Because if we are describing the benefits, advantages of this particular article, only then we can be fluent in describing our own emotions, in describing our own feelings. First, we will describe the utility of this book, then we can go for the emotions, emotional connectivity with this book. That this book is very dear to me. Why this book is dear to me? Because I have written so many things which I cannot describe to any other person on this book or on this notebook. In this way, we are updating our knowledge. And the most important thing is that you have to speak. You have to train and you have to build the connection between your mind and your mouth, because this connection is missing. A lot of storage is there in your brain in the form of sentence structure, in the form of grammar rules. After all, 16 years of our education is wholly dependent on cramming the rules, on cramming the names of the objects. Each and everything is here, but we haven't developed the connection, the bridge between our brain and our mouth. Now we have to train it. How to train it? The single and the best solution is to speak. Is to speak that, because when we are speaking, we can understand that where we are in our weak area. What are our strengths? Only then we can improve, and gradually and slowly we can enhance our speaking skills. So this is the only formula by which we can speak English fluently or speak any language fluently. Because English or any language is just like a skill. You have to develop the skill, because theories are there. If this book is full of grammatical rules, if this book is full of that, you can read, you can speak English in this way. You can speak English by shadowing. You can speak English by dramatic monologue, by talking to yourself, by speaking loud, or by any other means. But until and unless we practice, we cannot achieve our fluency.
I agree. But we have to understand why we are learning this language. If you have that clear motto, I think that point of time we can start learning, we can start speaking. Otherwise, we know that, okay, English cannot be learned unless we try that, unless we speak it. So we have to have that ambition. If you have that ambition, you can certainly learn that language. And I think English is used most of the time in our day to day lives. I never ever say, we often say bed, we often say exhaust fan, but the pronunciation might not be appropriate. The pronunciation might go here and there, but we mostly say that I need bread. I just, can you turn the fan on? So we have been saying so many English words for a very long time. But the point is that we do not go for complete spoken part. And if you are in dire need of this particular thing, you can learn this language.
Absolutely correct.
Hmm.
I want to ask something, the very important thing and the very amazing concept just struck my heart, my mind, that often criticism is criticized in very point of view, that if even if a person is criticized in a negative way all the time, he cannot survive. But according to my perception, according to my belief, criticism has the ability to shape the destiny of any person, any nation. And if we come across the world historians, if we come across the personalities who just have shaped the world, who just have contributed a lot, and we come across that those personalities were the most criticized one in the negative way, not in the positive way. And because positive criticism is called appreciation, and appreciation doesn't work for you so well as negative criticism. What do you say?
Yes, I partly agree with you. The thing is that how you take things. Sometimes we don't care what people say. If you take everything to your heart, I think you can't work. Talking about my YouTube channel, sometimes people say that, okay, you make mistakes here, you have these many things, and you must work upon your shortcomings. But it completely depends on you how you take that. Yes, you are right that sometimes criticism really works. The more you are criticized, the better person you can become. And I'm delighted to say that I was always criticized, especially for this language. People always took me for granted and they used to make fun of me. They thought I could never ever speak this language. And from there my real journey started. And from there I decided that no matter what, I would become the better speaker of this language. And whatever today I know is just because of the past. Whatever people did, the way they denigrated me, that really played a pivotal role in my life. It is very important in everyone's life. But sometimes you have to understand what to ignore and what to take to your consideration. You cannot go with people. People are completely free. And you know yourself inside out. You know that, okay, what is working for you and what is not working for you. So that's how I think it works. What about you? Uh, did
Amazing.
any hmm,
Static sentences you have uttered, and I have come across many YouTubers, many English trainers. I believe almost all the English trainers which I have come across, or whom I have come across, are those personalities who just initiated their English language journey because of criticism, because of this negation, because everyone said that that was the building block, that was the foundation which pushed them to speak this language, to learn this language. Sometime or the other in their life they were mocked at, sometime or the other they were being laughed at, and because of that laughing behavior, because of this mocking behavior, they became so much fluent, and they are now successfully running their YouTube channels, and they are delivering their level best. So I have concluded one thing, that criticism is always there. Criticism is always there. You cannot escape. You cannot escape the negative comments of the people, whatever they are saying. But the best thing, the most important thing is how you are actually behaving and how you are reacting. Because if you are just taking them to your heart, then you cannot do anything. But if you just make them as your determination, as a strong point, that I have to prove to them that I can do this. In your case, respected sir, in most of the cases of English trainers, I have come to this conclusion that this negative criticism, this mocking behavior was the turning point. I would say the turning point in their life, and because of that, they made their lives. So in a way, it is very important, because if I often quote an example, and it is most favorite of mine, and you can come across in many of my videos, that just take the example of a furnace, burning furnace, full of fire. Now, if we put the gold into that furnace, it melts, and whatever shape you may want
Hmm.
to make, it is in the required shape, and that is valued and that is demanded in the society. The same thing happens with the person. Until and unless you have to go through the hardships, hard circumstances, hard kind of negative comments, you cannot build your personality, because you cannot push yourself in those uncomfortable zones where you are now pushing yourself. And that is the only phenomena of this nature, and this is the only phenomena of this world, why it is existing. I am not talking about the YouTubers, English trainer YouTubers, but I am talking about the great personalities. If we just listen the motivational speeches, if we just listen the motivational podcast, the historical figures whom we are very fond of listening, once they were mocked, once they were ridiculed, once they were heavily abused by someone or the other. Because of that, and now they are still remembering that that was the turning point in their life. So it is the most important thing. And we have to just keep in our mind that this should be our strength. We should not forget them. We should not forget them. Even a single remark, even a single comment, even a single, you can say, a saying of someone can make your life.
Yes, I could not agree more with your statement. And I think, what about the toppers? Do you really feel all the toppers were condemned in their life once? Do you really feel that? I think sometimes inspiration matters or appreciation matters. If people are appreciated, I think that's how they progress in their lives. Because if you are appreciated, if I talk about my students, whenever they make mistakes, whenever I reprimand them, whenever I criticize them for their mistakes, sometimes they do give up. They feel, now I'm done with this language, I should not work harder. But there are some people, even I know that they are full of mistakes. They usually commit solecisms. But what I do, I just ignore that and I usually appreciate my students. And that's how they become the best. And I think it depends what your ambitions are, how you take things. Life is not only about learning English. Life is all about to live happily, to live it happily. And how you do that. And you have to have a goal in life and you just need to achieve it. Once you achieve it, and I think that is the purpose of life. We all want something in our life. Some people want to gain fame, some people want to earn money. I think ultimately we all want to earn money, whether we want to earn ethically or unethically. Yes. So that's how I view it.
Yes, it varies from person to person, and this is very good approach, because when criticism doesn't work for a person, we have to try some kind of appreciation, some kind
Right.
of positive remarks. And if
Right.
a person is evolving, if a person is getting better at that skill, then we have to continue for that. This is another excellent approach.
Yes, but for students you have to do that. You can't make them realize that what their mistakes are all the time. Because if whenever we start learning this language, in the beginning we have various mistakes. We can't tell them, okay, these you have these many mistakes. You can tell them, okay, these are the mistakes you need to work upon, but you tried very well today, and sooner or later you will ace this language. That's how you can make your students productive. That's how they can be the best. And I think that's how I see that. And some people really quit, some people really give up. when they feel now I'm not learning, now I'm not improving. There are many people you will get to see that, but we only see the story of successful people. What about people those who are unsuccessful? We don't value them, because whatever I'm telling today, that everyone is going to believe, because I have firmly believed one thing: success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. If I say anything nonsense, people will say yes, oh, if I'm successful. Having said that, I'm really not successful. I'm just striving to be the best. Every day I do that. So if I say anything nonsense, people will laud it. Oh, look at Sunil. Whatever he says, yes, it works. But if you are unsuccessful, if you move the mountains, if you try every trick in the book, still you are unsuccessful. Unsuccessful people won't value that. What is your story? That did you get that a fleck of criticism, and after that you became the best version of yourself?
Okay, if I talk about my case, I do not want to reveal a stories, a certain facts, but something. There was something to those people are no more in the world, and I don't want to say anything about them. So
Okay.
it is better. But if I am a believer of this reality, certainly there would be something behind this story as well.
Hmm. Yes. Okay. And tell me something about Pakistan. I think you come from a country where, and no offense, but it is seen that girls are usually devoid of uh, education. They are usually devoid of their prerogatives. What about you? Did you get all the prerogatives to get better education, to live a life with peace, or to go out? Because it happens that if and you have been a person who did various things. You went for many competitions, and whatever little I know, that you have done a lot in your life. Yes.
Thank you so much for this appreciation. And I want to say that if I am running my YouTube channel, if I am standing, and if I have done a little bit in my life, this is the proof that girls are girls are treated everywhere variously. Because in every society there are some sections who are depriving the girls, but there are some sections who are giving them privileges. So
Hmm.
it varies from person to person, and the girls at large are given education. They are respected a lot. But there are always some minorities in every section or in every country, in every community. So we cannot blame the whole society or the whole country for that.
Yes, yes, I appreciate that. Yes, you are right. Even it happens everywhere. Talking about India, still we have some families, whether in cities you wouldn't find them in great numbers, but in villages you would find them in abundance. There are many families, they don't want to send their daughters for higher education. I think after 10 they feel they are done with that. But there is a reason behind it. The reason is that parents are still orthodox, and they have this dirty mindset: why would we spend much money on our daughters, because they are going to be the asset of other families.
Yes.
So there.
This living
Yes.
in the south because we are living in the same region.
Hmm.
It's a regional issue, we can say. It's an Asian issue, we can say that.
Right. But in many families, things have drastically changed. Talking about my family, so there is no disparity in girls and boys. My sister is highly educated. My wife is also well educated. We are quite educated. So my father gave equal opportunities. He gave equal opportunities to my sister, and same happened to my wife. She was given equal rights. She was allowed to go to schools. She was allowed to go to college. She was allowed to go to out of station, so that she could pursue higher
Thanks,
education. She could live her
I would
dreams.
say.
Hmm.
Thanks to social media, I would say, because now a mobile phone is in the reach of every person. Every person has this availability of mobile phone, and when people are watching different women belonging to different backward areas and they are doing their level best, then they get their realization, and often the girls make their parents get realization by making them watching those videos of the successful girls, successful women. And in this way, education is penetrating into the different status of the society, and parents are making their girls educated.
Hmm. Right. And I think without education, survival could be hard going. You can't imagine that we, if we have children, we want our children to get better education, and for that you must be good at something. At least you must know a good command, or you must know English. If you know English, you can certainly send your children to good schools, because there are so many meetings. Whenever parents go for some meetings, there they find it impediment not to speak English, and then they realize, you will get to see that on YouTube. You will find a great many women, especially housewives, they started learning English because of their children. Because whenever they went for parents meetings, there they faced this problem. They were not able to understand what was happening in that meeting, and they were not able to be the helping hand to their children, especially in their homework.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And sometimes I feel proud to say that my son is a debater and a speaker. And he has recently won at district level. And he hosted all the government functions at divisional, you can say, Zilla Council Hall, hosted by the government. And he is reading and he is studying in sixth grade. And my you can say my daughter is also a debater and a speaker. She reads and she studies in fourth grade. So in this way, I am trying to I am trying my level best to teach whatever I have learned from my life, from my books, and from my asset. So whenever I am given the chance to be the chief guest in their school, because a couple of times, 2 to 3 times, I have been given this award to be the best mother and the best and the chief guest of their school. So whenever I have a motivational speaker and whenever I just delivered a motivational speech in front of my kids in their school, on the stage in front of their teachers, and uh, my when my kids return to home, they just say that, mom, we are proud of you because you are a motivational speaker, you are the chief guest, and sometimes we feel proud that you are our mother.
That is really inspiring, because the apple does not fall far from the tree. So
Yes.
I think your children are doing the same, whatever you are trying to inculcate in them. If you create the ambience of English at home, I think they don't need to take any classes. They don't need to be so much apprehensive about this particular language.
Because
They,
I do focus only on English language. According to English language, you can say in the zone of English language or in the arena of English language, I have given them the free hand because I am making them comprehensible in each and every subject, in each and every area of life. I am making them competitive because when you are a speaker, when you can speak in front of the audience, in fact, you are conquering the world. I am just delivering my kids that you have to conquer the world with with your spoken abilities. Whether these spoken abilities are in your regional language, whether these spoken abilities are in your national language or in English language.
hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong, because Pakistan and India, for me, they both are equal. And but it is seen that in Pakistan, we do not find great English speakers. So
Yes.
is that true?
Yes, and it's absolutely true. And you will be surprised that 3 weeks, I think 3 weeks back, I have been started I have started these conversational videos, and during these 3 weeks, I didn't come across even a single Pakistani speaker with whom I can have conversation. And the respect and the love and the support which I have got from the Indian society, because all of my subscribers, most of my subscribers are from Indian society, and the remarks and the comments and the respectable behavior which I am gaining from the Indian community is is very dear to me, is very near to me, and I often quote that there is no one in Pakistan and there is no YouTuber in Pakistan who can speak English.
Oh, yes. No, actually, earlier I had 2 to 3 people. I held a conversation with these people, but now I don't find them very active on social media, on especially on YouTube. Earlier I really don't remember their names. So you might have a few people in Pakistan who would be that much crazy for learning English or for speaking this language. And I think you have a massive opportunity to make a name or to gain fame in this particular field. And but now the German question is that who was your role model, especially for English, that where you got that inspiration from? Okay, I want to speak like that person. Was there somebody from India? Was that inspiration from abroad or anywhere?
No, my inspiration came from Sir Amar bin Laden, very respectable, very honored, and Sir who gave me the first opportunity to have coaching in language and linguistics at their own college, at his own college, New England College. That was the person who just inspired me, not only to learn language, because if we are speaking English language, and if we are just uttering the words, we are just you can say the acting as robot, are acting as a machine, uttering the words simultaneously without emotions, without tone, without voice. And when we were doing our masters in English language, I still remember that person would create the environment with his voice. We were just mesmerized with the tone. For example, the very first line of Canterbury Tales, Chaucer, the greatest are the father of English literature, father of English language, you would say, because he standardized all the languages, all the accents, all the dialects of English language, and he standardized it in as if we are speaking right now, the British accent. So when he just, and it was our first class, when he just uttered the first line of Canterbury Tales with that morning, with his shower suited. It was medieval English. It was medieval English. Can you just imagine that he just picturized the whole scene of spring? How spring, the advent of spring is just breaking down the shackles of winter, snowy, season of death and decay. And we were just learning, and in the same way, he just delivered each and every lecture. So that was my first person who inspired me a lot, not only learning English language, but speaking in such a way that the other person get just engrossed in your speech, just engrossed in your conversation, because you are not speaking the words, you are giving life to those words. If you are successful in putting life in those non-living words, then you are a best speaker. And I learned that thing from my sir, very respectable sir.
That's amazing. Yes, you had your role model in Pakistan, your trainer, I would say.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, so I think we are done. Hmm?
Thank you so much for having a conversation and for accepting my request to have this wonderful, and I would say the amazing, the most astonishing and the most fabulous conversation. And I am looking forward to have many more conversations with you on the diversity of topic. And thank you so much.
Same here. I really enjoyed. Yes, we would certainly do that. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.